Here we go. So welcome back to episode 4 of WLN. I've got DFS here with me, which means one thing. We're doing level 40 today. How you doing, DFS?
Doing great, my friend. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. You told me just now that you're potentially on a hat trick of days out. 3 days in a row? You're going to touch grass?
Going outside for 3 days in a row. I see grass every time I'm playing 2K, every time I'm streaming, which is kind of crazy. So I got to go out there and touch it.
It's out there. I've seen it. Yeah, it's definitely out there. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, good year for you, man. Like, you got 2K TV, you got a logo. Bunch of cool stuff happened this year, man.
It was, yeah, for sure. It was great. It was definitely a blessing, but I couldn't have done it without my community. I have the most fun community chat, you name it. And obviously you're a big part of that. So I say thank you to you and all of you.
I don't know if calling you Beaker for 2 months is really contributing anything. Beep FS. Yeah. No, it's been fun, man. You are the most positive guy in the community, like genuinely as well, which is cool, man. Like I've told people that you're coming on to do this, and then like this is gonna be a 3-minute video, right? It's just gonna give everything a W. I'm gonna check out. I don't know. I think you'll get real with some of this. I've got a feeling you might.
Not everything will be a W. I don't want to spoil it.
All right. Let's get into it then. Let's start with Payton and Mello first season.
He's gonna be a W. When you talk about longevity and cards that really had some serious staying power, I think you got to talk about Melo. Is he as good as Curry was for the time? No. But Melo was versatile. He could do a bunch. And I absolutely loved, using him on both consoles. It was a great way to kick off the year, I thought.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be stunned if we ever see anything at Curry's level again.
Right.
I was just so overpowered. Yeah, it was a W. I didn't do this one. I did the next one. I didn't do this one. I never do the first one because I think the first grind is always the hardest, right? Like when they come out the gate. So I always ease into 2K so I don't get the early burnout, So I didn't get him, but I would have got him for sure. Yeah, he's a W. That's an easy one, I think.
Definitely good memories with Carmelo because I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, grinding on a hotel for a week and a half. And that made it so I couldn't grind on my PS5 because I just brought my Xbox to the hotel. So it was definitely a blessing to get him first in the world. No, I'm just kidding. On both consoles because it was good, man.
If anyone leaves a comment questioning that, honestly, it's time to get the joke. You know what I mean? It's been a couple of years. It's been a couple of years. Yeah, he was a W. He was. Let's move on to KG because this is a more complicated one. I think KG season 2.
I think you can put KG in the end category because he was a bit lopsided. His defense was great, but his offense was lacking.
Yeah,
I think he did a lot for me on my Xbox account. There's no doubt about that. I absolutely, enjoyed blocking a bunch of people with him, using him with the 4. His jump shot, especially that stage, is a little bit baited, as the comp guys would say.
Yeah.
So defensively, W. Offensively, kind of an L. I think that one balances out to be an N.
I think I agree with you. The problem with KG's jumper now is still the same. Like even his jump patterns, they feel exactly the same. Doesn't feel like it's changed at all. So Invincible KG basically has the same jump shot as a card from season 2, which in some ways is a compliment, but in some ways you could just say they're both bad. Defensively, he could get the job done, man. And he did have longevity because it wasn't like there was a huge amount of cards in the game that could stretch the floor, that could run at the 4 and the 5. He did have some versatility. And he was in my squad for a while. It wasn't like he was in for a week or two and was straight out. Because that's my criteria for this. Like, how good were they at the end of the season? Because that's really, I think, what defines any card for any season. Like I've done Unlimited with Jacob, and it was the key thing. And we kind of went Grant Hill's a W, for this season.
Right.
And then realized how bad he's going to be at the end of this season. 500 end game cards.
Fair enough.
No. But yeah, I think KG was an N. I agree with you. Yeah, I think that's a good take. All right. Let's get into season 3. Galaxy Opal AI. I didn't get him.
Okay.
But yeah, what's your thoughts?
That was a tricky one because I feel like people never gave him a fair shot. I'm going to go with N. Offline, he was super fun. I had so much fun with that card and using him. Online, for sure, you knew you were going to struggle. They did give him a bunch of badges on Hoff to try to offset that, which was good. But, it was definitely going to be a struggle if you're going to use that card online. But you could cook with him. And we all know I'm not very good at the game. But if I was cooking with him, it was the fun factor with him. And I remember playing a lot of clutch time back then because that was the season that was introduced. And just having some fun with it. So 2 ends in a row. So that's for all the people who said everything's going to be a W.
Yeah. I'll say, so where are we at now? We're at WLN. Yeah. Okay. Only 33% W ratio so far. That's good.
There you go. But we're going to get to season 4 though.
Yeah. I mean, okay. AI for me was an N. I think he was an N. I mean, he was usable. I don't know why did they go with AI? I mean, that's the question mark, right? Like, I'm not sure why they picked AI as that card. Yeah, I just think it was the wrong time for it. Maybe
this year, though,
AI would have been fine.
Yeah, that's true. This year, small guards definitely had their time.
They did,
and
they still
that's
do.
where, for sure, and that's where you gotta, respect that because. These last couple of years, everybody's a giant at the point guard position, and you're at a disadvantage if you don't run a tall guard. So you're probably right. Season 1 would have been maybe a bit of more appropriate time, but I enjoyed using the card.
Yeah.
I want to look back and have good memories with him.
He's a fun fact. Like comparatively, if you look at the height of cards now, the fact that I could have fun with like Pete Maravich now is probably more surprising than having fun with AI back then, right? The disparity probably wasn't as bad. All right, cool. We agree. Okay, let's get on to season 4. Yao. I have some strong opinions on this.
Listen, I mean, I'm sure. No, I mean, I think everybody has a strong opinion on that card. Yeah. You talk about the criteria is how good was he at the end of the season. He had longevity, he had staying power, and he changed the game. So he has to join Melo in the W category. I don't think, I don't see it any other way. I know people hated going up against him, especially, with everything that he's able to do down in the paint. I had a lot of fun using him offline, a lot of fun using him online. And yeah, he was a giant when we had just gotten a small guard. So it was like 2 opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, they overcompensated massively.
Yeah, that's definitely fair to say. I know I get what you're saying for sure, but no, he's solid. And I loved using him. I always kind of smile when I see him in my collection. And, people, that's a card that's always going to cause controversy and always going to cause debate within the community.
I think it depends what you're in this game for. I think that really is like the answer when it comes to Yao. So I didn't get him. He was the last one I didn't get. So I got, out of the first 4, the only one I got was KG. And then I got Ray through Jokic afterwards because of our bet that I won ultimately. So, let me tell you why Yao was an L for me. Like the card itself is a W if you got it,
right?
But I absolutely hate what it did to the meta. Like for this year, I kind of said this. So in about an hour, I've got my video with DBG dropping, which is like looking back on all the seasons, and I said the same thing in that video. This year's been tricky. Like if you wanted to have fun on the game, but truly have fun, like if you knew how to dribble, how to get open, if you use the most fun kind of meta that there is, it's been a tough year anyway, because like Dribble 6 came out so late, decent signatures came out so late. Right. So it was a bit of a struggle if you were trying to have fun throughout the year, but it was never any worse than when Yao was the meta. Like it was never any worse. That was the 1 month. You remember my breakdown? Do you remember my breakdown on Twitter? When you got jumped at my DMs and told me to calm down. Yeah, that was the Yao meta that was.
I remember that.
It was. I remember that. It just wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. It was like I got pink diamond Porzingis and it stopped. But until then, I was like, bro, they're just literally creating a switch. I've got a 6'3" point guard. Payton can't keep up with Yao, and it was just every possession for months. Yeah, I just don't like what it did to the meta of the game. But the card is a W for whoever got it.
It's exactly right, and that's where I'm saying with Yao, where you have 2 different sides of the spectrum. it's always going to cause debate and controversy.
Yeah.
He definitely changed the game, and we can argue for better or worse.
I think it's one of the cool things about that card is the fact that it's like the John Cena of MyTeam, but it's just completely polarizing.
Yeah.
Like it evoked a reaction. Yeah.
I'm a John Cena fan, and I'm a Yao fan, so it works.
Okay, cool. I'm a fan of neither. All right, let's go to season 5. All right, I guess with Ray and Giddy we'll do like pre-Evo and post-Evo. So pre-Evo Ray?
Yeah, there's your L. And if you wanted an L, that's it. Pre-Evo. We have to say pre-Evo because he was the one who collected the most dust in my collection. Thank God they gave him an Evo. Because if they didn't, he was going to sit there and rot. I'm not saying he was horrible, but at that point in time, we had gotten so many good cards in season 5 that were, a lot better. And I got him. I barely even remember grinding on PS5 for Ray. I have like no recollection.
You did it twice, right?
I did.
Xbox
I did.
right.
I have him. And I mean, you talk about somebody who rose like a phoenix from the ashes. He went from an L to a W because of the changes with the Evo, and they made him relevant again. And that's what was big. But Ray was nothing special before he got the Evo. That
might be the most controversial thing in any. But you just gave something an L. This is unprecedented.
Listen, I think there's things that should be changed. The other day I tweeted about the mercy rule in draft and limited, and that's another topic for another video.
Yeah.
But Comp FS, I'm not Comp for anybody who's watching me for the first time. There's got to be something, and we could talk about that another time. But no, Ray Allen was an L before the Evo, and then he turned into a W. Thank goodness.
Cool. I'm giving him an L and an N. So I'll give him an L for Evo. Everything you said, I agreed with. I think I'll give him the N for post Evo because like when he got the Evo, everyone got excited, but for like a day, and then no one used it.
That's fair. That's fair.
He was like gassed to the moon when they gave him the Evo, and then no one was using him a day later. Yeah,
I get that. I did though, and I had fun with him. It was an easy Evo. And I'm glad that because if they didn't give him an Evo, he would have just sat there. And I was like, okay, I grinded for level 40 in season 5, but okay.
the fact that they gave them Evos was the biggest W. Like the fact that no one even asked them to do it, and they just came out and just went, "Yeah, these cards are a bit crap. Here's a bit of an update," and everyone was like, "Yeah, we just got that for free." That was huge. That was huge.
It sets the precedent for next year, I think, because. We sit here, have fun, debate about level 40. I think you're going to want to grind level 40 next year. Obviously, we don't know who it is. We have no idea. But if that card gets the Evo in season 3 or season 4, I know people who are still upset they missed out on Mellow.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You never know. That is what 2K have created this year. Like, you never know what's going to happen. We're sitting there, look at Dirk. They did the same thing. He was invincible. Out of nowhere, he becomes an endgame card. Like, you just don't really know what they're going to do. And they have been on it this year with not only listening, but preempting, I think, complaints from the community. It's been good. All right. Giddy?
I loved him. I loved him before the Evo. I loved him after the Evo. I'm glad he got an Evo. Yeah. I love the card so much. And I wouldn't be surprised if you said N pre-Evo. But I'm going to go W's across the board because, I mean, I feel like, and this is going into SIGs, and that's not my realm, but his behind the back, the way he does, the way he moves behind the back.
Yeah, it's a teleport.
I've had a lot of success with him online. And I've never missed a corner 3 with him ever in my life. I think I'm so glad he got an Evo. Wasn't entirely necessary for me, no, but it wasn't necessary for others, probably so. Ray needed an Evo. Helps. Yeah, Giddy really didn't, but I'm glad he got one. Of course, I mean, that's a great thing. But he was one of my favorite cards of the year. Not just level 40. I'm talking all cards, and I've used a bunch. So
I agree with all of that. I agree with all of that. Yeah, W's all round for me. Pre-Evo, post-Evo. Like, yeah, absolutely. It was amazing. He was in my team longer than the next one. So he outlasted the next level 40. I mean, I say outlasted. I literally never use the next one.
Really?
Yeah, just no.
Oh, wow.
Just had no shot. Yeah, 2 W's for Giddy. That's easy. Yeah, he was amazing. His height, like I said, his jump shot was underrated. You're absolutely right. He could move. I didn't really have a complaint about the card. Like, his defense was elite. And then they updated and made him even better.
And the other thing with that was, okay, you got a small guard in season 3, a small point guard. And now Giddy is one of the tallest point guards you could possibly get. And he's such a popular player. You think about the international guys, you know, the Australian guys who are going to use him. And he had a big season. So it was nice to see him. People were talking about him for Rookie of the Year.
It was relevant. Yeah, timing was, on point. Yeah, cool, man. All right, should we do Edwards?
Yeah, we're going to have to get there anyway. It's the elephant in the room.
It is.
Okay, timing was great. It hit right when the movie came out. So that was cool. I had so much fun using that card. You have to realize, though, that it was an N. Because his jump shot was slow. And I understood, you know, where people were saying with that. I had so much fun using him. But I have to look at the greater scope of things and think outside of myself and think, okay, did this first Invincible level 40 blow the community away? And it didn't. Yeah. And it's in that sense, you know, a little bit unfortunate, but I loved him. It hurts to say it. And you probably are in the same boat of a lot of people where you got him and he didn't touch your collection. Yeah, you know, he didn't touch your lineup. Never touched. And that's I get that. I loved him though, but we'll go with him.
It's so tough. It's so tough with Edwards because like he was a season too late. Like he just was a season too late. Like going through them all, in my opinion, he was the worst.
Think so?
Yeah. I just think the competition for that, you know, for shooting guard at that point, you know, we had MJ, we had Luka, we had that season, you know, that season was Return of Heroes. So we were getting another OP shooting guard every single week. We had Finley in Unlimited who was cracked. He was never going to get game time. I just don't see a scenario where he ever would have played a game. So that was the one grind that I did where, because I won't do the grind if I don't want to do it, right? That's where I am with level 40. I do make a decision. I'm not like someone with everything, unlimited everything. I'll decide whether it's something I want to do and then I'll do it. But with Edwards, it was a one exception where I wasn't really bothered, but I did it anyway. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you much about the card. What I can tell you is I think he was the one gameplay that Ty did this year where he lost the game.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Wow, that's interesting. So, my question to you think Ant was worse than Ray pre-Evo?
Ray pre-Evo played more than Ant did in my team. Because there wasn't a huge amount of options when Ray came out. So he was, you know, he was probably still top 5, at least top 10 shooting guard when he came out.
Yeah.
When Ant dropped, I just don't think he was on the radar.
I get it.
We had like 4 Lukas that were better than him and 3 MJs. Just with those 2 guys. He was already like 10. Yeah, it's tough.
I can't argue with that. We can have our debates, but I can't argue with that.
Yeah, it's really tough. It was a tough break. Like, who did we have? We had all the Kobe's already in the game. Like, we were getting out of position shooting guards. Like, Giannis was in the game already at that point. Like, it was, it was tough. Anyway, I don't want to like, you know, ruin the card entirely. It wasn't L. Right. But let's move on. Right, Jokic.
This is an easy W for me.
Have I missed anyone? That is all.
That's it. Right. All right. So Melo, KG, AI, Yao, Ray, Giddy, Ant, and Jokic.
Yeah, that is all of them. Yeah, cool.
Yep. Jokic. I mean, they made him like Slender Man. Like it's like 2K20 Dino Raja, and he could move.
Yeah.
Like crazy. You run him a point guard. I've ran him online in limited. I had so much fun with the card, man. I was thinking we were going to get an endgame Jokic. because he was the MVP. Obviously,
Yeah,
he's had so much success with that. And to have him at point guard, I love him in real life, so that might contribute. He's doing stuff we've never seen on the basketball court, but he's a great card. They made him like super skinny, so that's definitely something interesting. But he's fun. He's super fun, especially at point.
Yeah, one of the biggest W's all year for me. Like, people don't seem high on him because of the Ray Allen base. I'm really high on the Ray Allen base. My 2 point guards right now both have Ray Allen base, which is Kawhi and Jokic. I sold point guard Giannis to put Jokic back in. I think his escape's better. I think his shot's better off the escape. I think he moves better. He doesn't start blinking after one dribble animation. He plays incredible defense. He stops the pick and roll that people abuse non-stop in this game now. Yeah, what's there to complain about? I don't really get it. I don't get the complaint about Jokic. I don't either. Don't get it.
Do you think the Ray Allen base fell out of favor from last year to this year?
So people are saying, like, statistically it's a bit slower, but there's more to a jump shot than how slow it is. There's the questions are how quick can you get it off an escape? What escape are you getting it off? Like, for me, I try escape into a 3 pretty much every possession. And Ray Allen's so easy to green off that. Like, if you watch my gameplay of Jokic, like, he looks like one of the best cards that's ever been released in 2K in that gameplay. Like, I'm literally, escaping about 10 feet, shooting green 25% contested threes.
Wow.
4s in clutch time. Like, he's a beast if you know how to use him. And yeah, I preferred him to Giannis to the point where I sold Giannis and put Jokic back in. If it is a bit slower, that's fine. But if you're open, you're open. And I think this is one of the issues that we've had like this year with the meta, right? Is there some jump shots that are so cheesy now where you don't even need to get open. Luka, for example, right? You could just shoot it in someone's face. I think 25 is the same. I think base 3 is the same. So I don't know if we should be hyping up jumpers that are basically glitches. If you know how to get open, Ray Allen's one of the best jumpers in the game.
I feel like it was one of the best jumpers last year.
It was.
And then this year, I feel like it's went from hero to zero from what I've seen. I love using the jumper.
Yeah, me too.
And I love Jokic. I have Jokic. I have Harden. I earned them, and I have a blast with both of those endgame cards.
I'm going to send you. I'll actually tag you in it. I'm going to send you a screenshot from last night. So my first game with point guard Kawhi, he dropped 35 in the clutch time game. So he scored 35 in 10 shots. So he's averaging 3.5 a possession.
Wow!
I'm going to send you a screenshot. That's how good the Ray Allen base is if you know how to use it. Like, it's unbelievable. But Jokic can do everything. Like, unless you're looking for a card to like do the work for you, there's no reason why you shouldn't like Jokic. That's my opinion.
Would you say? I want to know. I want to turn it back on you here for a second. Who's your favorite level 40? Is Joker it or?
Yeah, it's close between Joker and Giddy, but I think it's Joker. There's another reason as well, right? You know the endgame concept. I mean, it's boring. I don't know what your thoughts are. Let me know. But it's extremely boring, extremely repetitive at this point. And the one interesting thing is the 3 free endgame cards are the only ones with buried 6. Every other card is the same, right? Base 3 or 25, Trey Escape, Luka Escape. The only 3 cards that have a different jumper are Jokic, Harden, and Weber, who are the 3 free versions. And I like that. Weber's probably my favorite card in the game. Completely slept on. Harden's so much fun. And Jokic. I've had a blast running him. No complaints. My TTO team right now is Jordan, Jokic, and Giannis. I run them 2 as my bigs. Well, Giannis is gone now, so I need to find a replacement. But yes.
There you go.
Yeah, no complaints. No complaints about Jokic. What's your thoughts on level 40 as a whole this year?
Well, I don't know if you want to do a point system like you guys. I mean, I'm going to say soccer. 3 points for a W, 1 point for an N.
I mean, you probably averaged about an N, right? I think we both have somewhere between an N and a W.
Yeah. I think overall, level 40 has been solid. The game completely changed with those Evos. I will stand by that.
Yeah.
that sets the precedent for something amazing to happen next year. Because, the main complaint is, are they going to be relevant? And I understand that. Well, that makes it relevant. And I hope that next year, whatever it is, I say next year, it's going to be 2 months or less, is going to be, there you go. I always say next year. It's September, Jimmy. Come on.
Yeah.
It's like, I hope it has the longevity and the staying power. Yes, Curry was overpowered. We can agree on that. But I hope it has the staying power of Curry and Melo. And I hope that, that at the point whenever it gets outdated, then you can add an Evo to it and have it be great. I'm really, really excited, for next year. I set a goal for myself. I said, let me try to get level 40 on both consoles. I almost did it last year when I got my PS5 with Luca. And I've achieved that goal. And it's been so much fun to use different lineups, use different cards, use different teams. And it's fun. It's fun for me. You can do so much with XP without even thinking about it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean, as the year goes on, it gets easier and easier. And I think
the
first few months it can be tough if you've got other things going on. It can be, undoable. It's certainly some points it was for me. But by this point of the year, I mean, most people are getting the cards without trying. Like that's where we are now. Look, for me, man, I think it has to be better. I think level 40 and Unlimited need to be the two best cards each season.
You think so?
Yeah. If we're going to get one or two cards from packs that are, better, I understand, they need to, sell packs ultimately. So I'll understand if there's a couple more cards that are better. But, a card like AI, like Edwards, Edwards wasn't even on the radar of being a top 30, 40 card in the game by the end of that season.
That's fair.
I think it needs to be better. I think Unlimited has actually done a way better job. They've stepped up Unlimited massively. We had cards like Gary Payton who had 3 months longevity. Finley was great. Netalicki was best power forward end of that season.
Netalicki was great.
Yeah, so I think Unlimited has kind of got to where it needed to be after last year, it being kind of mid. And then I think next year, level 40 needs to take a jump. Quite a big jump.
Do you think with the Evos, it can take jumps if they can keep incorporating them?
Yeah, but it's a hypothetical, which is the problem, right? Because what you're saying is we should do level 40 just in case. And I don't think that should be the philosophy, I don't think people should be grinding for a card just in case it gets an update and is better in the future. It would be great for that card to be amazing out the gate and be really exciting, level 40 is something I want to be excited about, but it's something I'm very rarely actually excited about. I don't mind the grind. It doesn't really bother me. Like I said, this point in the year I think I did 3-4 hour stints and I got Jokic. So it probably took me 12 hours total. And
I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that new players can come in and not do a whole lot, not even think about it and end up with an endgame card. That's really, really good. It's good for you, you're a clutch time demon. It's good for me, who's mostly, I like to be offline. And it's good for Bobby, who just got the game off of PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, 100%. I think by this point in the year, I just think early on, I think the first 3 or 4 are super important. The first 3 or 4 need to be, because it's such a harder grind. At the start, it's such a harder grind. It's a harder grind for a few reasons. Usually the XP is a little bit lower. The cards are weaker as well, so it makes physically doing the XP a little bit tougher. You have to hit 10 threes. It's not as easy with an Emerald as it is with a Invincible. So I think there's a lot of reasons why it's tougher at the start. So I think just seeing that rewarded, having that longevity. Payton's the best example. Gary Payton was available first day of season 2 in Unlimited, right? So literally 6 weeks into the game. And his longevity carried him through season 4, season 5, people were still running it. There wasn't a card this year that came close to that, apart from maybe Giddy.
I would like to say something to everybody out there who wants to grind level 40. Nothing will be harder than the Steph Curry grind. Nothing. I don't care what they do in the future. I did it. I moved across the country back to my home state for a new job. I still somehow, I don't know how I did this, but I was able to get it with time to spare. And if you did the Curry grind, you could do anything. we were having to do the most insane stuff back then, man. 25 blocks with Horace Grant.
It was wild. It was
T-Rex
wild.
wingspan. It's so slow. We could sit here and talk about all this different stuff. Unlimited specific agendas, you know, and things like that. So Melo was definitely a grind. There's no doubt about it. That was definitely, you know, a grind I had to put some serious time into. But it'll never get more difficult. And
you are right.
And if you can get season 1 grind done, you should be good for the rest of the year.
I agree. Yeah, that's the benchmark. Yeah. I got one final question for you. Like, are we ever going to see CompFS legit?
In draft.
You are a draft god, aren't you? Yeah. I think there's 91 picks.
I am draft. Shout out to PJ Hoop to Baller if you're watching this. But no, I'll tell you this. Last year, I was in qualifier. I said, okay, I got my best team. I got my reward squad. Let's see what happens. I think I made 2 guys quit really quickly. And there was a period of time where I was number 40 on Xbox in a qualifier. And and then I said, I'm done. You know what? Let me just let me just stop where I hear, quit while I'm ahead, and take a picture of me and be at 40 and call it a day. I know that as far as reps, I put in a lot of time in the game. You know, today, 3 clutch time games just for the agenda. I went ahead to get a draft ticket, actually. I went ahead. I made 3 guys quit. You know, that's not saying much. But I'm using Opal, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Manute Bol just to have fun.
You're better than you think you are.
I know I'm okay. I've put in a lot of time this year more than any other year. I've put in a lot of reps. At the end of the day, with Unlimited, there's guys out there who are crazy and they save a lot of time and they're doing these settings. And there are guys out there who are so much better at the game than I am. I'm better than your average bear.
Yeah.
But I like to help. Everybody's asking. The reason why I grind on 2 consoles, and people ask me this all the time, last year and this year, I always see I'm at level 36. Do I have enough time to get giddy? You know, whatever, fill in the blank. It's been every season, every player. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people don't want to go online, and I do mix in online stuff. I love the exchange that they did for the Drew Holidays and the Malik Sealeys and the Horace Grants of the world. That got me playing TTO. Yeah. And in season 3, when clutch time was new, I was playing it a bunch. I don't know. CompFS is more of a meme than anything else, but it's fun.
It's a meme I created. It's my legacy.
I love limited. I enjoy playing draft because I'm confident I know I'm going to win. Does the mode need improvements? Yes, it does. Draft for sure does. Triple Threat Online, you know, I played it a lot with the exchange. And there was a time there where I was running clutch time all the time. But Unlimited is the barrier that we'll see if I cross in 2K23. But I'm putting in so much time on the game and grinding to level 40. That's always going to be my priority.
Yeah, I think you'll do it at some point. I'm very interested to see what Unlimited will look like next season. But yeah, they need to stop that fear factor, I think. Like, people should be as excited about that as, you know, playing offline. And
I hope so.
Someone at your skill level should be well up for it, you know, I think.
I hope so, man.
Let's see.
I'm very interested to see what happens. I'm optimistic for 23. All you had to tell me was Jordan challenges, and that's not even a my team thing. That 2K11 is my favorite of all time. I was in 8th grade playing those, and you know they're definitely going big with Jordan, and I'm very much excited to see, you know, what's going to happen. And I'm looking forward to grinding alongside you and meeping with his beaker and having a great time.
Meep FS. Yeah.
Meep FS. Get it trending, boys.
Yeah. I want to see that as your Twitter handle tomorrow. Right. Thank you for coming on, bro. Like, this has been awesome. You are like completely associated with this mode, you know. You've really made it your own. You know, the advice that you give people who are struggling, the fact you do it on both consoles is awesome. You know, and you're making waves, you know. Like I said, getting the logo, doing the 2K TV stuff, it's awesome, man. It's awesome to see you continuing to grow and influence the community in such a positive way. And I love the fact that it's genuine. That's the thing that I think I like about you the most. Is I like, we used to joke where yin and yang, right?
Yeah.
Like, 2K21 was literally your like villain to your hero, right? I'm in a way more positive place, and partly because of, you know, my conversations with you and just starting to break yourself out. You get into such a toxic mindset, especially when you do play things like Unlimited and Showdown and things like that. It can really just become, you can lose your grip a little bit on the reality. And I think what you're really good at is putting yourself out there and reminding people that this isn't that serious, you know?
It's a video game.
It is a video game, yeah. I think that's one big thing you kind of reminded me. You kind of beat me over the head with it in my DMs. The point got through.
I didn't mean to do all that.
It's all good, it worked. All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you, DFS. I appreciate you coming on, man. And we'll chat again soon, I'm sure. Right, until next time. Thanks for watching, guys.